Hey everyone, welcome to a special leadership announcement from VIB. My name is Scott Clary. I'm the host of the Success Story podcast. My background has been in tech and entrepreneurship. So I'm excited today to be introducing VIB's new CEO, Mariah West, and new COO, Branden Baldwin. Mariah and Branden bring a wealth of experience in marketing, sales, and operational excellence. Super excited to learn more about their vision for VIB. Welcome. Nice to meet you guys.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
I want to understand for VIB, what's going to be happening? Where's the company going? What do you bring to the table? So, Mariah, you've been an integral part of VIB for a while now. You've led marketing. Why is this an exciting time for VIB? Why is this an exciting time for you? Maybe just speak to, what you're psyched about going forward.
Yeah, I think I've been here for a little bit now. I'm coming up on 3 years. Just in my time here, we've gone from a handful of people to over 50 full-time employees. We've also created amazing partnerships with large clients like Google and IBM and Sophos, a whole host of others. We've also introduced new offerings driven by client demand and have been recognized by Deloitte as one of the fastest growing companies in our industry. So we're at this pivotal time in our growth where we've set some great foundations and we're ready to chart the milestones and grow the team and client base even further. But what gets you to our stage doesn't always scale to the next stage. And my background and Branden's background too is in B2B sales and marketing at fast growth companies. We've been in companies through this stage before. We're also in a unique position where we are our ideal customer, which is odd. If I wasn't at VIB, I might be a client of VIB. So we very much represent who the traditional buyer is of demand gen services. So it's really a great opportunity for us to come in and shape that next stage of VIB in the eyes of the customer.
That's a huge point you just made too. Like bringing in new ideas and fresh ideas to leadership at different stages of a company is so important for a company to really grow, right? There's leadership that's great for 1 to 10 million and 10 to 50 or 10 to 100. So you both come from a sales and marketing background. Branden, yourself, you also joined VIB as VP of Revenue Operations. So what was your first interpretation when you decided to take the VP RevOps job? Obviously, you probably didn't know COO was down the pipeline. Give me your background, where you came from and what you saw going in.
Yeah, which is a great question. And as I first heard about VIB, it was through a recruitment from our SVP of sales. I'd worked with him at a prior company and they were needing some help. He told me what the company was. I'm like, ooh, demand gen, like being in RevOps, every demand gen partner is horrible. Like all you do is give people bad data, fake lists, like just not good. As he showed me the model of VIB, it really changed my perspective. Like, why are more companies not doing this? Like, why are we not building a membership of people that want to talk with companies versus buying a data set? I'm just going off of that operation. So coming into the company, it really intrigued me of why, again, are not more people doing this? Why do we not maximize on the proper way to bring people together from a demand perspective in a very effective way? So it was very exciting, very optimistic on creating a better outcome for so many companies that just struggle. We're in a market that people need meetings, they need demand gen, they need impressions, they need everything to survive, and we can provide that. So there's always room for improvement coming as a VP of RevOps. Always there's things that like, okay, we could do better, we could restructure this, we could get a different perspective. The reality was it's a phenomenal team. The people here love what they do. They have ownership of what they're trying to accomplish. They understand what we're trying to create. And so having a team that's aligned, this is one of the best teams to work with because people believe in what we're doing. They believe that we can do better. And we look at it from not just how can we do good by our customers, but by our members too. And that creates a very effective environment to drive success.
I love it. I'm so curious because I don't know if you guys know this. My background is actually in sales and marketing. So I hold this very strong belief that some of the best leaders are sales and marketing leaders because they understand what really moves the needle on a business. So talk to me about how sales and marketing leadership can really sort of take the company to the next level. Where can you take it from here?
Partners can definitely expect we're going to continue to invest heavily in improving all stages of the customer experience. Like you're talking about, as sales and marketing folks ourselves, we're in the trenches through our entire career, understanding what's happening in areas for opportunity, what our customers are looking for, what they do and do not need. And we're also constantly talking to our peers too. So improving the customer experience, that's true for everything from how they interact with us in how we fulfill their services to what services that we're going to offer to speak to those values that they need. We're also going to continue to invest in expanding our community audiences and growing that base of tech professionals that they have access to.
Very smart. And Branden, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, so I will add, once again, having come from like the RevOps side of the house, having done sales as well, when you take a concept that's created by sales, and I've done this for other organizations too, is a lot of times it's a lot more what I'll call duct tape together. You're running quickly, you have these visions and you move. The reality is what's often left behind is an operational flow of how you create an environment that's really streamlined. So it's your people, it's your process, it's your data, and how do you maximize those in an environment that makes it easier for everyone to do business together. So as you see the shift of why sales and marketing people are getting better at this kind of leadership perspective, we look at it holistically of those that we're trying to treat. Those that don't have that exposure to the customer often say, okay, we're bringing that harmony together of creating an operational flow with communication internally with realistically what the customer wants and bringing that together to create an ideal outcome and structure that will drive success and flexibility that as we pivot to adding more products, we can easily do that with the customer in mind to make it an easy transition for them and for the team.
And like one other thing that's very important is Sean built an incredible company at ViB. So you are adding on, not changing, not replacing, not redoing the things that Sean has done. So when you think about going forward, how are you adding on to what Sean has built? How are you augmenting and improving?
Yeah. And Scott, I have to admit, I was binging some of your videos before this interview, and you have this great little snippet where you're talking about how the best founders aren't single points of failure with a few hundred contractors. And Sean has really done an excellent job growing ViB to where it is today. And he just saw the opportunity to bring in strong leadership in the exact thing that we do, which is sales and marketing for demand gen. And so we have a great opportunity to take ViB to the next stage. And like we talked about already, Branden and my background is in that fast growth startup environment where we've had exposure to putting, I'd say, repeatable, scalable systems and structures into place. And that's very much what ViB needs at this point in time. And it's also a great opportunity too for Sean to have a little bit more space to do new things for the business. So as he shifts to chief strategy officer, he's really going to be looking to generating new ideas and offers and activating new audiences for the business while we create the structure internally to scale.
I want to understand how ViB is different from the competitors in the market right now. But then I also want to understand when you deploy everything we just spoke about, how much more different and how much better and how much more innovative do you see ViB being in the future? So benchmark now, obviously hyper competitive. You're killing it right now, but then even more so going forward.
I'll talk a little bit about that now. I think just to start, one of the unique differentiators that we already talked about this a little bit was the entire ViB leadership outside of even Branden and myself. We were the client at some point. We all come from that background in high-tech B2B marketing and sales. So we really can understand firsthand the challenges that it takes to be successful in really competitive spaces like software and storage and security and cloud. So that's one, is we are the client in a way. So it allows us to design things that really speak to the needs of the client in these spaces. The second is our community. So we've curated this community that basically, I like to call it like a glorified matchmaker that matches those in high demand purchasing and influencing titles that our peers are vying for the attention of. And we bring our experience into crafting offerings that help us match them up with those tech professionals that have relevant needs. And third, I'd also say that in my career as a marketer, I've worked with a lot of providers and agencies that I'd say our commitment to the customer is next level at ViB. We're one of the only providers that stand by our lead guarantees. So if we don't achieve what we said we would, we'll keep working with the client to iterate on things to get what they need out of it. So as far as now is concerned, those are some critical differentiators. And even though the market is evolving and the team is evolving and growing, as we look to the future, we want to continue to double down on those things. We want to continue to have expertise in the business that helps address customer challenges. We want to continue to grow this beautiful community, and we want to continue to provide a guaranteed result for the client so we can become the backbone of their demand gen engine so that they can have the freedom to go off and try new and different things as trends show up and the market changes for them and their business.
I don't think you understand, for people who are listening, how incredible some sort of guarantee is on demand gen data. It's like a if you know kind of scenario, because if you're in this industry and you've tried to find qualified and good data, it's very hard. There's a lot of data brokers out there. There's a lot of garbage out there. There's a lot of stuff that's outdated. So to find somebody that would guarantee, because I'm going through some other names in my head of companies that do the same type of work as you, and to my knowledge, none of them guarantee the data. So it just goes to show you how much trust there is in the product that you've built, which I think is phenomenal. I think you are understating how huge a differentiator it is in the business that you're in, because that doesn't exist a lot at all.
It's very true. I was just going to add one little thing too, because I myself have used a lot of services and agencies over the life cycle of my career. And it is sometimes comical to me how low the bar is for marketing service providers. I can't tell you. Many years ago, I actually received a list from an agency that had people who were not just at their companies anymore, but weren't even on the earth anymore.
Oh my God.
The quality is variable depending on who you're working with, but the need is great. And so that's really an area where we don't want a customer just for a one-time thing to help them build their brand or drive demand. We're really looking to build a business where that customer is a partner to us. We are partners together, and that they're a customer for life.
And having the background from sales and marketing with us, this is not just, okay, you bought a lead from us, you bought a meeting from us, there you go, we walk away. We've been in meetings in our other companies where marketing submitted something from a demand gen perspective to sales. Sales took it, they heard what it was and like, oh, I already know it's garbage. They don't work it properly. So they go back, blame marketing's blaming sales. So can we provide data to the company to help resolve some of those issues? Is there validity of where we need to circle back? Is there information that you need to know that we've uncovered from our own work that helps you be successful? That it's not just you bought data, we give you data. We really want to help you drive the results you're trying to accomplish. And you'll see that as we advance as a company of we want to help you actually have success, not just sell you a data point, but that data point matters to businesses today. It's what keeps companies in business. We understand that importance, and we want to do everything we can to drive that reality for you in your results.
It's so huge because, of course, you have some of your customers are enormous customers that have figured out their process. Some of your customers are probably SMB and mid that don't really have it 100% ironed out and figured out. And that expertise, that's invaluable because, like you said, when you go on the internet and you try and find this data that literally could be like the life source for your business, and you're making all these hiring decisions and financial decisions based on this list that you're buying for X thousands of dollars. If you don't work with the right person, like that's not just okay, we have to find, for example, a new CPA or a new finance partner because the books are messy, but I know somebody else can clean it up. This is revenue. This keeps the lights on. This makes payroll. Like this is mission critical. If businesses don't get this piece right and they make bets on the wrong person, there is no more business. So it's like revenue solves all problems. So it is very important for this to work out properly and for you to bring that sort of advisor lens and advisor value add, I think is incredible. When you look at as the industry evolves in the marketing and sales industry, what are some milestones that you hope to achieve at VIB? So talk to me about how VIB plays into the evolution of marketing and sales.
Coming from typically supporting like CMOs and leaders, I look back 6 years ago and it was the statement of 50% of a marketer's budget's working. They have no clue which side it is though. So you're just keep on investing anything you can. That's changed, right? We can't do that anymore of we have all this money, let's spend it, let's try new things. It's becoming more conscious of like, where do we spend our money? How do we invest? What's really going to make a difference? Because we have to have that predictability. That predictability is very important to everyone. So as we look to marketing trends going forward and even like sales trends, it's how can we do it quicker now? Great, we have some predictability, but how can we operate at a higher velocity? Because we don't have as long run rates. You don't see VCs investing in companies at the same rate they were before. So that run rate is reducing for a lot of organizations. So how can we get results quicker? At the same time, you think of marketing and sales from the alternate perspective of the community members that we're trying to match with. They're now also getting hit with so much marketing, so many salespeople reaching out to them that they also have all this noise. So both sides are struggling of we need to go quicker. We need more people to see us. The other side is saying, I don't see much of anything because there's so much noise. How do I actually know what matters? And that's where we have to look at marketing is it's not just a one-sided equation anymore. It's realistically, how do you solve problems from both ends? And like sales and marketing people don't get mad. Like, yes, that's what you do. But the reality is, so are 1,000 other people going after the same people. And that's also something that's hurting the other end of people receiving the marketing that you're trying to send out.
We're all just trying to reach our ideal customer. So I view a lot of our role as a demand generation company as that stable, trusted partner to help our clients have a predictable channel that delivers results time and time again. And I mentioned this earlier, because the idea there is if we're that backbone, they have the freedom and time to go off and try new things and tackle new industry challenges. So our key milestones are always related to delivering those repeatable results and constantly improving the customer experience. And of course, we're always iterating ourselves and testing new offers too, because we do want to also offer them interesting opportunities to generate interest with potential clients in new and unique ways using new tech and trends.
One thing that's very unique to VIB, and you touched on this a little bit, but I want to just understand it a little bit more, the community-driven approach. Maybe explain what, say, 99% of your competitors do versus what you do with this community-driven approach. Building a community, building an ecosystem, building some sort of matching tool. Again, from my experience, I've never seen anything like this before in this space. So where did this idea come from? How did you build it? Obviously, probably not easy to build, but now that you have it, it's this massively unique differentiator. So give me a little bit of rundown about how that works.
Yeah, it's an interesting one too. You're asking where does the idea come from? And that very much is a critical factor in where we've landed. VIB actually stands for Virtual Intelligence Briefing, which back when it was started by our founder was an online editorial magazine that covered virtualization news. And the reason why that's interesting is because what does a magazine need? A magazine needs subscribers. But what ended up happening was the news component over time became less critical, and the interest from potential partners and clients to access those subscribers and talk about their solutions became more critical. So the community is like a modern version of subscriber-based, the magazine in our origins. It's a place where IT professionals can come and ask us to be the intermediary to provide them solutions that may be relevant to their needs. So it's a great place for tech professionals from all different walks of life, buyers, influencers, to get connected with vendors that may solve their needs without needing to do a ton of independent research. And to Branden's point earlier, to also standardize the messaging that they get so that it's a little bit clearer. Hey, I'm looking for this type of solution. We've curated for you 3, 4, 5 vendors that address that need in the specific way. Now let's connect you either through a webinar or an appointment or an email so that you can learn more. And you're not just going out and Googling everything under the sun or needing to sign up for 70 demos to achieve the same result.
No, I think that it's something that is very useful for a go-to-market leader, for a revenue leader, a marketing leader, because again, that community component, it's like this trust that's built between the two entities already, right? There's like this trust component that is really the biggest obstacle in sales. Like, how do we quickly build trust between the vendor and the customer. And I think this community component, like these vetted people that come in, they can communicate, they can meet people that can help them out and solve their problems. That's a trust factor that you don't get by just getting a cold lead at all. So this is phenomenal. Any final thoughts to customers, to stakeholders, to employees, to the team on VIB, just to say, this is where we're at, this is where we're going, and maybe where to go get more information about the future?
For externally, get on board. Like, this is a great company to work with. It's great people to work with. For those internally, like, we're going to keep on making it possible to give your best individual contribution, making it quicker, better, easier. And for our members, we will continue to give you what you need to do your job quickly on your end as well, helping break down the noise of all these individuals, that people can make decisions at the right time, at the right place, and be that connection for people. So it's a very exciting time. Continue to watch VIB, continue to see where we're going. If people have ideas, questions, like, they can reach out to our executive team, and one of us will be on a call quickly to understand what you need, how you need it. And that's part of our culture that's been instilled by our founder that will continue going forward. Is you want the executive presence, you want to know what's going on, there's always one of us available to help in what you need.
We're people serving people with people problems. So our business is very much founded on relationships and partnerships with customers, with community members, with each other. I feel the same way about Branden. We're very much a partnership that's going to bring this thing forward. So I'm personally excited to serve our customers in their needs, excited to serve my team, my leadership team, my entire organization. And so I would say to existing customers, continue to give us feedback, continue to ask for our time and share where we can do better and help you grow in different and unique ways. And if you're not already a VIB customer, definitely check us out at vib.tech. We would love to have a conversation with you.
All right. So I just wanted to thank both of you, and I want to thank everybody for joining us today. This has been great. Very exciting to see the future of leadership at VIB and to see what we both do with the company, because I think it's going to be nothing but good things. So for anybody who wants to go learn more, you can also go to vib.tech if you want to learn more about the company, if you want to get involved in the community, jump on a call, whatever. They seem super accessible, super down to earth. So I think that let's close it up here. So anybody who wants more information, go to vib.tech.